Hello, YouTube. Took me a few tries to figure out how to get this darn phone to record. Still recording on the phone that my daughter gave me. I forget what the heck it is. It's a really low-end Android from like 6, 7 years ago. And on that note, it's clearly more powerful than Obama Phone 4. So, yeah, go figure. Um, I did notice an interesting. Speaking of it, I guess I should say what time and date it is since I'm waiting for a car to pass or park or whatever. It's Wednesday, May 24th, 2023, 9:03 p.m. I'm headed to. I forget the name of the damn bar. That karaoke dive bar that I went to Friday and Saturday night. Rolled solo on Saturday night. Friday night, I rolled with a couple of women. One of which was a woman I worked with at Amazon who was previously a forklift driver who got suspended over something I never really fully got an explanation about. And I don't even want to talk about that because it's yeah, there's already too much rumor and confusion about that, and to be honest, I don't know. I do know that Amazon has a propensity for suspending things like that over really stupid shit, but I also know that she's done some things that were not appropriate. So you know, it could have gone either way. Anyway. So yeah, went there Friday night with her and her gorgeous friend who has not messaged me back once. And I'm not trying to be a stalker with that woman. You know, I mean, I sent her. I thought it was really cool when I dropped her off like the following night, which it was pretty late by the time I got her to her folks' place. I want to say it's probably about 11 p.m., maybe a little later. I don't know. Maybe it was 10:30. I don't remember exactly. All I know is that by the time I got her to her apartment that she shares with her mom and her kids, which is in the complex where my ex-wife lived with her parents when I met her. And it's worth noting that my ex-wife was considerably younger than her when I met her. Of course, that was like 22 years ago. So, you know, I guess I'm not the same age. I was kind of old for Daniela at the time, come to think of it. But anyway, my little shortcut to not wait at the long red light at Palm is turning out to have not helped me because I've noticed the Palm has cycled since I've been here, and I'm still waiting for a break in traffic, 44th. So. Note to self, it doesn't die out enough at 9 p.m. to do this to save time. I'm so over the traffic on 44th Street, by the way. Just 44th Street is even back driving in a car, it's still strode from hell, and I still don't like it. Because of maneuvers like that. And just too many lanes. Pedestrian jaywalking right there. You probably couldn't see him. I could barely see him with my eyes, so the camera didn't catch it. I will say this about, I feel like this is the first time I've shot nighttime video with the phone from my daughter. And the screen is not so dim I can't see it. In fact, what I'm seeing on the screen looks a little on the washed out side, but it's overall brighter than what I'm seeing outside my windshield. So hey, at least there's an improvement on nighttime video recording that was much needed. Hard to really compare it to Obama Phone 3. I mean, the deal with Obama Phone 3 is that the screen has been absolutely whack for quite a while. So, like, looking at it while it was shooting video didn't really tell me what video was going to look like at it. I just had to kind of look at that after I shot it. And since I went back to shooting out in all the time, my life has been so overwhelming that I haven't really, while I've listened to some of my vlogs, I haven't really watched anything that I've shot at night on it. Except for the one from like super late Saturday night, early Sunday morning, when I was coming back to my apartment. And I was nervous that Priscilla was stalking me to the point of camping in front of my apartment in her SUV, waiting for me to show up, and which it turns out she wasn't. White SUVs are ridiculously common in Phoenix, but yeah, I mean, the reality is that there was that alley that I walked down to try to get to the other end of my street from where I park. That alley is so dark that just literally no phone would have given me good video on that. That whole walk I did, pretty much all that was just so dark. It's yeah, not a good gauge. Anyway, I don't think this phone has a micro SD card slot on it, so I don't have any way to expand the memory, and it's only got 32 gigs of space on it, so I fully expect it to run out before I get to the bar. It's bugging me. I can't think of the name of the damn bar I'm going to. Like, I want to say Carousel, but I don't think that's right. How many times I've been there, you think I know the name. But, I mean, consider how many times when I had my car before and I was regularly, you know, before I got to Amazon and I had more time for karaoke bar hopping, and was more actively trying to find a karaoke hosting gig, consider how many times, which reminds me I really need to get on, Vistaprint, print me some new business cards. Hopefully I can do that on Obama Phone 4. Yeah, it was, wow. This phone seems to have a very tough time focusing, worse than Obama Phone 3 did. So that's not good. Wow, and I'm seeing a lot of like washed out stuff, which is probably just the camera lens being dirty. I didn't make any effort to clean it before I got in the car. So can't really judge on that until I've made an effort to clean the lens, and I have nothing on me to clean it with. But yeah, I fully expect it. Oh, so anyways, I was saying when I used to go around bar hopping a lot more, I found I often would conflate bar names. I would be talking about Wander In, and I would say Bullocks. I'd be talking about Bullocks, and I'd say Break Room. So, also a symptom of autism. Go figure. Yeah. Speaking of autism, I have got emails in response from Amazon regarding my appeal. It seems to have been bounced back to GYR3 as opposed to being handled by Amazon corporate. Overall, I think that's a good thing. But it's hard to say it's going to go in front of. Like, if it goes in front of... You know, and the funny thing seems to be going to... At one point I had to choose between whether I wanted this to be done between a panel of HR people or senior ops. And, you know, and I was like, well, what's the difference? How does that affect me? And, of course, the person I was on the phone with for HR was like, well, I really can't advise you on which decision to make. And I'm like, oh, that's helpful. It's like, it's okay, you know, I'm not holding this against you, but damn, I just don't know really which to choose. And it's like, do I take door number 1? Do I take door number 2? Behind one of them is certain death, and behind one of them might be certain death. I don't know. It was almost just like flip a coin. I don't know. I went with the panel, panel of HR people, just because I think HR people that work for Amazon are so ingrained in, hey, disability accommodation, and I think the record's pretty clear that I've got some mental disability, and although I've never properly asked for accommodation for it, that because it's a mental disability, maybe I lack the maybe I'm not qualified to ask for my own accommodation. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Anyways, this is going to senior ops at GYR3. I'm hoping that if it's at the GYR3 level, that they're going to go down and look at the people that work below me. I don't expect Kevin is going to have my back, because I kind of had words with Kevin before I walked out the door for the last time. But, and unfortunately, I don't think it'll involve any input from PAs, and it's mostly at the PA level that I'm tightest with people. But there are certainly some AMs that I think will have my back. And while Kevin is my current AM, I'm sure they'll look at other AMs that I'm working with and below. I know Sean is considerably higher than L4, so I would imagine Sean Barca would be a factor. And I did have quite a discussion shortly before the end of my shift. In fact, like maybe within a half hour before the end of my shift, where it was just like, told him how bad I was kind of freaking out over the situation and what I was struggling with, and just like, and I was really just upset. And I'm just like, Sean, you know I'm not like this. I don't like me this way. And he kind of, Sean definitely went out of his way to try to alleviate my stress and my situation. And so hopefully Sean Barca will factor into that. He's the one I've mentioned before that's like 7 feet tall. One of the tallest men I've ever met in my life. If I do get fired, I wonder if he'd look down on me. Just kidding. Sean Barca looks down on like pretty much everybody, because we're not all 7 feet tall. I feel like I got a really good rapport with Whitney, who is ops, but she's strictly night shift ops. I believe she's night shift front half ops. I don't know. I know she's listed in my A to Z when I had access to my A to Z as the person above Kevin. I also believe Dustin, hopefully Dustin will factor into this, and I do know. I haven't been as open with Dustin about the mental health issues I have, but I feel like regardless, Dustin has seen me at times when I was clearly having some issues, and while I didn't really open up to him, I did say that, yeah, I'm kind of having some issues, but I'm trying my best to just kind of plow through it. And he saw that in spite of the fact that, yes, I was clearly having some issues, that I was still focused on my work and just trying to put my work ethic above that. So, I don't know where it's going to go. And to be honest, if I get this job with the company that I interviewed with today and yesterday, I'm probably not going to stay with Amazon. I'm going to definitely give this other place a try. I think it's a better opportunity. It doesn't pay as much as I was saying it paid earlier. I was thinking it was like 20 or 22. It starts at $18.50 an hour. And there's only one shift, so there's no shift differential. They asked me to write down what I made at Amazon, and without being able to go into my app and look through all the images that explain the convoluted pay structure at Amazon, and I'm glad he didn't ask me about that on the interview, or tell him what I'm saying right now. Without being able to look at my app, and without being able to look at my pay stubs, and without being able to go through some of the charts and images that I have on my iPhone, which I'm still locked out of, that explain the convoluted pay structure at Amazon, I really don't know what I make. It's complicated. My gut feeling is it's less than $18.50 an hour. It just felt like more because I got so much overtime, and because Amazon just has so many extra things, extra pay that happens that wouldn't be considered part of my salary. Such as different random paid holidays all the time, and extra days that have double pay, and then all the overtime, which is time and a half, and throw in a little extra PTO here and there, so more free money. Speaking of Amazon, I just got another direct deposit from them, which not as big as my regular overtime paychecks, but a pretty sizable amount. So I feel like I'm pretty much good to get to next month, believe it or not, especially when my Arizona tax refund comes in, because I still haven't received my Arizona tax refund. But now I don't know. Again, like I receive direct deposits. I don't receive a paycheck, so I don't have a pay stub to look over. And I never at any time ever really figured out how to access my pay stubs or read my pay stubs. Things that confuse me and stress me out, I just find it's better to avoid them if I absolutely don't need to know the information that's on them. And knowing what's on those pay stubs, like I had ways of checking that my hours were correct on A to Z, and I always audited that through the scheduling function of the app. But as far as like the numbers and stuff, I just kind of had faith that they would have those right as long as my hours and everything were right on the A to Z. I never got a paycheck that felt like it was grossly less or grossly more than it should be. But yeah, as far as like, but now is the time I'd really like to know, like this pay that I just got. My last pay that I got was definitely for the very small incomplete work week that I did because it was small. The week before that was definitely for the week that I freaked out at the new manager that I didn't know and said, no, I don't have to leave at 4 o'clock. Don't lie to me. Why are you over here lying to me? I have to clock out before I hit 60 hours. I will clock out right at 5 hours, 50, or right at 59 hours and 59 minutes, and no sooner. So get off my nuts. And by the way, if I lose my car because I don't have enough money so that paycheck for that was, I got a sizably larger paycheck, like not last paycheck period, not last early payday, but the early payday before direct deposit. Definitely for that week. You can tell by how much larger it was than normal. Next one, really small, so I'm sure it was just for the portion of the week that I worked prior to having my freak out and not going back. And now I just got one that was, I don't know. I wish I got pay stubs sometimes. I wish I knew, but yeah. Wow, I'm driving farther north than I should have been. I should have exited. I really should have exited at 19th Avenue and got on Grand. I'm just like talking and to myself and not paying attention to where the hell I'm driving. Or where the hell I am, for that matter. Camelback. I think at this point it's just best for me going up to Bethany Home. Seems like the best route to this bar from my place, and I'm just having the reality check that, wow, it's notably farther than Bullock's. Although Bullock's never felt far when I was driving, so there's that. But yeah, the best route I found driving to this bar that I'm going to, whose name I can't remember, Skipper's, that's what it's called, Skipper's Lounge. I'm so bad with names. Usually the best route from my place used to be the exit I-10 to 19th Avenue, 19th Avenue to Grand to 43rd Avenue, which is in reality an exit that puts me on Camelback, quick left on Camelback, quick right on 43rd, and then right up to the bar. But yeah, I passed that exit, and I don't think going down Camelback would be as good as going down, staying on I-17, going down Bethany Home. Anyway, my AC is working. I didn't even have the damn thing turned on. I'm like, why am I sweating? I don't even have my AC turned on. All right, we got an asshole in an oversized truck going overly fast on the freeway. Phoenix. That's Phoenix in a nutshell. Left side of my speedometer has gone dark again. No shock there. At some point, I really do resolve all the dead backlighting in my instrument panel in my car. Again, not like the most important thing I need to deal with, but man, that's something I'd like to get resolved. Like all these little things are the things that make me crazy, having to listen to the radio and not be able to play CDs in my car. Sometimes I'm just pleasantly surprised by the radio, and then other times it's just like a Cranberries song that's played out and I don't want to hear it. 19 minutes and 42 seconds. Yeah, without a car, or with a car, it always used to seem like it took me about 20 minutes to get to to Bullocks, as opposed to like sometimes 3+ hours it took to get here on the bus. Which, of course, you know, I tell people where I live, they're like, "Oh my God, you live so far away." It's like, it's a 20-minute drive, dude. Right, we got a panhandler in the median. It's just, oh, it still blows my mind what a ghetto this neighborhood has become. Because this, in the 70s, like I had an aunt and an uncle that lived very near here. Guy had to cut me off to get to the left turn lane to go in the liquor store. With the liquor store with the drive-through. You don't think he's drinking and driving, do you? Okay, my AC is not blowing cold, and everything is turned on. So I went to Rob's shop today. I was having an issue with the car. I went to Rob's shop today. It was blowing cold when I drove it from Rob's shop to my place, and the overheating problem was fine. He had told me to check this, so he did some modification to the electrical harness and stuff around the air conditioning, and it's really sloppy. It's really sloppy. I mean, to be fair, most mechanics would have been like, "Yeah, you can't fix that. Sorry," but it's really sloppy. And there's some inline fuses on it, and he said, "Yeah, it's probably your electric fan not working. Check the fuses." And I'm like, "Yeah, your rat's nest of wires I don't even like fucking with." It's like, "Well, just come in. I'll look at it." Well, he looked at it today. I went there after. So my last video I ended with me over at Ross. I ended up not going into Ross. I ended up actually walking over to the Wendy's. Oh my God. So the prices haven't really gone up at Wendy's, but shrinkflation has hit. I got a bacon double cheeseburger, and I still had the square patties, but they were so tiny. Like, I think the next time I go there and I order, I'm gonna be like, "Oh no, I ordered a bacon double cheeseburger. I didn't order a slider," because literally that's how fucking small they are now. To be fair, it still was delicious, but I don't know. I mean, it's like the shrinkflation bothers me more at this point than the inflation. It's like, all right, the bag's, the biggie bag, it's the biggie bag with the double is still $6. Okay, that's a great deal. And then, like, it seemed like my drink cup was smaller. It seemed like the nuggets were a little bit smaller, but it's just in my head. But the burger was like way smaller. I swear to God, it looked like a fucking slider. It was delicious, but and altogether the meal pretty much filled me up, because it doesn't take a lot to fill me up. But damn, did they shrink that shit down. Things that have been a consistent size for a long time that are rely being a consistent size in fast food places just kind of really need to, yeah, I'm not happy with that. So way to be as evil as Jack. Wendy's. Dave Thomas is probably spinning in his grave right now. Yeah, my air conditioner definitely not blowing cold at all right now. It's pushing hot air at me. So yeah, he said it was the fuse for the fan. I know heating problems with the fan came right back on, and I kind of figured that was the issue, because whenever I was driving, like the temperature would only crawl if I was stopped or I was going through, driving really, really slow in heavy traffic. And as soon as I get on the freeway or a higher speed strode, it cool right down, which tells me that I'm not getting enough air going through my condenser and my air and my radiator. So, which tells me that there's a problem with the electric fan. So anyway, apparently the electric fan working fine now, but apparently now the AC compressor is not getting power. It's just not kicking in at all. Like, I know it goes through its cycles, but since I noticed it wasn't turned on, and now, like, it should have turned on by now, and it hasn't. I'm not sure if this is 35th or 43rd. I think this is 35th. Nope, this is 43rd. I think to the bar. I'm not used to coming in from this direction, so it looks a lot different to me. Note to self, there's a PLS here. Anyway, not looking forward to the drive all the way out to that warehouse tomorrow without air conditioning, and I definitely got to do that before I deal with having Rob mess with it. So it's all right. Yeah, if I get that job, I'm definitely going to give it a shot before I, do anything on the way with going back to Amazon. So as far as the additional pay that I got today from Amazon, I don't know if that's because I don't have a pay stub. I really have no way of knowing if that extra pay was me getting paid during the pendency of an appeal, like I was told I would, or if that extra pay is them paying me out for my unused PTO and vacation. I really don't know. But I will tell you this, nice to get all that extra money in my bank account. I'm a lot less stressed about how I'm going to support myself, as I still, at the moment, have no real job. Anyway, thanks for coming with me on the drive, and I'm going to go in and sing my ass off.